people, the guy that started Netflix is Edward Bernays' nephew, the guy that wrote Crystallizing Public Opinion. He got people to put fluoride in the water. And
Jesus.
No, he's 4 out of 5 dentists. Like that trick he invented. Like 4 out of 5 dentists. You know, dude, it gets
And then
dark.
it shows that it lowers kids' IQs. That's like proven.
Yeah. And I, you know, guys like us say it for years and they never apologize. They're just like, oh, by the way, yeah, it does that. And then it's like, you want to apologize for calling me schizophrenic? And they're like, oh, you sound unhinged.
How about NASA and the moon landing? What are your thoughts on?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this triggers people hard, right? I mean, you ever see American Psycho?
Yeah, but
with
a
Patrick
long
Bateman?
time ago when it first came out, so I don't remember it very well.
It's like, do you remember how he lied when someone's like, where were you? And he's like, oh, I was probably returning videotapes. Like the most ridiculous lies. That's NASA to me. It's like, how come you guys never went back? It's like, oh, we don't have the technology and we destroyed it and we can't rebuild it. And it's like, so where's the evidence you went? This is official. They go,
No, I know, it's insane.
They go, well, we had the proof and we taped over it. And they're like, why? We're like, why? They're like, we had a budget problem in the 80s, so we like recorded over it. And we're like, you get $65 million a day. They're like, yeah. And you're like, okay. And then they, like, what time in history have people explored something and just never went back or monetized it or did anything?
Yeah, the way they recorded over the tapes of it.
That's what they claim. They said they dude, this is official.
Yeah.
They recorded over, and that's all I think about. I'm not like agenda driven. People are like, why are you trying to take away our greatest accomplishment? I'm like, faking it's a great accomplishment. I mean, you guys still did that.
No, it's possible because like one that got me is when I read that we can't go back today because we don't have the technology. That was like a what? Because everything else technology is so much better. And what is that? Was it 69 the year or so? And then we went then and they say we can't go back now. That makes no sense.
Dude, Neil Armstrong brags. He's like, we had less tech than a TI-83. And then the next thing they're like, oh yeah, we don't have the money to make that again. And then you look at the lander, it looks like a meth head's tree fort. It's like, it looks like it was put together by a dude from a dumpster. And people are just like, oh yeah, you know, we can't do it again. And then I had Vivian Kubrick on my stream and we're laughing because anyone who's made film or been in production knows that it's like nonsense. Like film doesn't work at like 50 degrees sometimes. They're saying it's negative 250. And she was like, yeah, I don't think my dad faked it because it would have looked better. And I'm like,
oh yeah, because there was a rumor that Stanley Kubrick faked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was too good a filmmaker, so it's probably someone else.
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, they needed to give people something to get excited about. It's all good. I don't envy the people that run the system. I'm like, you guys got to keep this thing going. It's just running on fumes.
Yeah, I have no strong opinion either way, but they definitely had a reason to do it. We were, it was the Cold War with Russia, so we wanted to show we could get there first. It was a race to get there. So there's definitely a motive.
Yeah, totally.
So you had that. You had the fact that we can't go back today. They taped over the footage. It's a little strange. We should at least be able to question this without being like, oh, you're crazy. It's like, maybe you're crazy for not asking these questions.
Dude, the thing that gets me like fired up isn't that someone doesn't believe or they believe it. It's that I'm crazy for wondering why they taped over the footage.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It
It's
makes
kind
no
of
sense
like
tape over footage.
That's the thing where I'm like, dude, if it wasn't for that, if someone's like, yeah, that's really crazy, but I think we went, I'd be like, no problem. Just admit that sounds crazy. That's all I'm saying.
Well, also, let's say we're the head of NASA, right? And then we land on the moon. We sit there afterwards to be like, hey, what you do with the technology? Let's destroy it. We'd probably save it, right? Or would we sit and destroy it?
It's like, sir, we have all this tech now. Like everything's advanced so far. Should we advance that other thing? It's like, no, don't advance that other thing and just destroy it and let's just pretend it never happened.
Yeah, and the movie, I have to record a different movie, so I'll tape over it. I got this movie I want to record and I'm out of tape.
It's like, and let's focus on Mars. It's like, dude, what about the moon? They're like, dude, the moon's done. We've already been there. Dude, Buzz's mom's name was Moon and she unalived herself the year of the moon landing. Like, I don't buy that. I mean, I might just be a skeptic. I might have PTSD from COVID. I have no idea. But it's like, so Buzz's mom's name is Moon. It's almost like lazy writing. They're like, his mom's name's, Moon. And so where is she now? She's gone. It's like, okay, dude.
No, there's some weird stuff in NASA. I forget the guy's name, but one of the guys was like, one of the early guys in NASA was like summoning demons and stuff before. And
Jack Parsons and all those guys.
Go,
yeah, they were all and Walt Disney. They were all buddies, and they all had like bets, like, can we make grown men cry over a cartoon of a dead deer? That was Bambi. Yeah, Jack Parsons, who started JPL, was like in a cult, like a total black magician.
Yeah, he was like actually doing black magic ceremonies, like sex and maybe sacrifice potentially. Weird
Totally,
stuff.
totally. They're like, what kind of science does he do? They're like, well, he drinks period blood and talks to Beelzebub. And they're like, oh, did you learn that at Caltech? You know, because I did a podcast at Caltech with physics, so I'm like I know this world. They're not like bad people. They do some good science, but there's some huge holes where I think they're so compartmentalized that they don't see, you know, they'll like focus on like doing one thing. Like my buddy's grandfather made the lunar go-kart, and he totally believes it. He's like all in. He's smarter than me. But I'm like, so you don't see the bigger picture? And it's like, no, I designed that go-kart. I'm like, so they were playing golf and riding dune buggies, and now they don't have the technology to go back. They're like, I don't understand. And they just kind of go green screen. And I'm like, whatever, panda bears.
Yeah, that's like talking to doctors about COVID. When you start showing actual studies and they're just like, their eyes go blank because they don't want to read the studies you're giving them.
Totally. They're like, I can't look at that or I break.